but I'm going to talk about some of these today. I think one of the key things is to just keep focused and keep ourselves reminded about why we're actually joining the community of IRP Gifting. There's a bigger picture, which I'm not going to go through right now, which is the whole IRP, the International Awards Program platform, which if you're not aware of that, we're not covering it at the moment, as our key focus is getting this up and running and stable. But there's a massive bigger picture. And that's where my first involvement, where I was invited to come on and do the training, coaching presentations by Dr. Francois Engelbrecht, came in, was the whole IRP community internationally. So that's not what this call is about. Today is about Connect, just a quick update. There's some interesting things going on in the background, as well as I'm going to share some key areas that we all need to focus on and help all of our people to focus on as well. So Dr. Karin and Dr. Clinton excuse themselves today. They've got prior arrangements. If you're not aware, this is a time maybe I can make you aware or lift your awareness, is none of us are full-time IRP. We've all got our own businesses. Some have got jobs. Some have got multiple different businesses, which we're running on the side of helping get this whole community and this platform up and running to the best that it possibly can ever be. So that means that we've had to, or some people specifically, Dr. Karin, Dr. Clinton, Dr. Francois, have had to drop some of their normal businesses in order to really focus aggressively on what we've got in our hands. And we all need to be hugely grateful for what they're actually doing for all of us. Because if I asked you the question, how much have you paid to IRP to have this platform available in your life? Well, I know the answer. The same amount as me, zero. Zero in rand, zero in fiat currency. So I'm paying to the community by allocating some of my time to help get this up and running, to help educate people, to make awareness of what we have here in our hands. Dr. Karin is giving her time for her expertise in the programming, Dr. Clinton on the programming and the support side, Dr. Francois in the strategies aligned with Dr. Stefan and Shay Davis. So we're all giving some of our time in to really get this going, but none of us are funding it. All these people on this call, everybody else, the 700 odd, I'll have a look now on Telegram, how many are part of this community. None of us are actually paying for it. So the gratitude must be just bursting. The question then I have for you is, if you're not part of the support or the programmers or the presentation or the training or anything else that goes into creating and setting up a sustainable platform as this gifting economy, what is your contribution? What are you contributing to this community to get it going strong? And if you say, well, I don't know what, I'm not doing anything, I don't know what to contribute, there's one thing, and only one, that you need to actually do. And that is share the message. So I was chatting with somebody, it was today, Saturday, Wednesday, I think it was, when they were asking and saying, I've registered, I've gifted my $8, and now I'm waiting because I've got nobody allocated to gift me. I said, wow, fantastic. Well done. Welcome. It's the first time you're sending cryptocurrencies. Yes, they were so excited with themselves. They felt absolutely amazing. They gifted $8 the first time they'd ever done a crypto transaction. Their learning curve and what they were learning through being connected with IRP was massive already. I said, well, great. So where do you think the people are going to come from who are going to gift you? And this lady, it was a lady, she said, well, it's going to come from other people joining the platform. I said, great. So where do you think those people are going to come from who are going to join the platform? She says, well, people are going to invite them. I said, fantastic. How many people have you invited? Well, no one. I said, do you think there maybe lies the challenge? So the concept that this is not network marketing is 100% correct. I've been in network marketing for over 16 years, and this is not network marketing, but it is networking. It does require people. In fact, if anybody on this call listening to the recording is in business in any way, Now, this isn't business, but it is an economy. It's a gifting economy. If you are in business in any way that does not need other people in order to be sustainable, to be profitable, to be a business, you will be unique and individual in the world. Every single opportunity, business, online platform, gifting community, it doesn't matter where it is, what sphere of business anywhere in the world requires people. So what does everybody do on this platform? We share. It's a very simple process to share. Invite them on the Telegram group. Share the recording, which is available, of the short version, the 10 minutes, just to introduce people into what's happening. It's on YouTube and on the Telegram channel. Just send it to them. You don't have to explain it, but without other people coming in, where's the gifts coming from? Just the same as you have a small hair salon. You need people to come in. And if you want to grow it, because now you want to bring in new people, new stylists, you've got chairs that you want to rent out, what do you need? You need to share the message. You want your existing clients to go out there and do the marketing for you. You want your existing clients to go and tell their friends and family, hey, I was at this hair salon, pretty good. Look at my haircut. Don't you think it looked brilliant? They say, wow, that is a nice color style. Where did you go to? No, I went to so-and-so's hair salon. You must go there. Oh, brilliant. That person goes. That's how economies grow. And what we have here is no different. So just some food for thought at the beginning. Don't sit back and expect magic if we are not individually contributing in some way or form. That produces a community. And when we all do our own little bit, watch what happens next. Absolute explosion. So I know already there's over 1,000 people on the community in the IRP have registered. That is excluding duplicate accounts, as far as I understand. So without us haven't actually launched 100%, that is already phenomenal. So get prepared for some massive things to come. So I'm not going to go through any back office training. That was being done twice by Dr. Karin, some phenomenal training available on YouTube and also on the Telegram. If you haven't been through the back office training, you're still not too sure, go and watch those recordings. I'm not going to be duplicating again the same message. So Dr. Karin and Clinton were not available this morning. So I asked them, especially Dr. Clinton, who's heading up the support, what are the top 5 questions or errors or concerns that are continuously coming up? And he sent me a list here. So I'm going to now take you through these. The first is, he said, massive positive news coming forward. I've got a WhatsApp that I'm going through here. So if it sounds like I'm reading it, it's because I am. We are winning, he says, but we do have some basic challenges which the community needs to assist us with. The better the community assists, the quicker the programmers and support can focus on the key areas of development, of improvement. The more that the support is trying to just fix people's errors and mistakes, the longer it's going to take to actually getting the platform to where the vision is to actually take it. I hope that makes sense. Just imagine if a lot of people are making mistakes which are avoidable. Let's call them human errors, because to err is human. If a lot of people are doing that, and then support has to go in and with the developers try and fix errors that were avoidable, it's taking their focus away from fixing permanent issues or problem solving or continuing to add in the new development, the new coding, which is where their actual focus comes from. And when you consider that every time the developers need to do something, it costs somebody money, and it's not costing you. So it's costing IRP money to do these things. So this is where it is our role and responsibility to ensure that what we're doing is done correctly. So here's the key point before I go through number 1 on the list that was sent through to me. Here's the first key one. Educate yourself on where the information can be found. Even if you know about cryptocurrencies, because you've been doing it for years, Watch the crypto training videos. Why is it important that you know what's on there? Well, you're going to introduce somebody, and this person perhaps doesn't have the same knowledge or skills as you do. So you've got a choice. You can either become the magic and explain everything to these people, which makes it very difficult for these new people to duplicate. Or you can just say, watch this video. Once you've watched the video, if you want to confirm something, come back to me. But this video's got the answers. Somebody asks you a question. I don't understand how to attach or how to do the back office with attaching the proof of payment. Where do I put it? Did you watch the training that Karin did? No, I didn't. Go watch the training. See, that's duplicatable, because then when that person starts to understand and they know where the information came from, they introduce somebody who doesn't understand, they can just say, well, I got the information from watching this video. And you see how the importance of duplication is so critical. I was chatting with a phenomenal lady this week, a leader. She's got an amazing group of people. She's a networker of note, phenomenal. And she was telling me how frustrating it was getting, because people who were meant to be gifting her the three people gifting her the $8 weren't doing it correctly. And she was getting absolutely frustrated by explaining everything to them, and said, I had to go and train them on how to do this. And I said, you've seen the training video? She said, yes. I said, why do you want to stress yourself and give yourself a headache? You're not here to rescue people. Everybody has to rescue themselves. We are responsible for our own futures, for our own success. Send them the link. Say, watch this. If you want to confirm something because it's your first transaction you ever do in cryptos, come back to me, I'll guide you. But I'm not going to guide you unless you've watched the video. That makes it duplicatable. That's why we spend time in putting these videos out, so that everybody can understand. Now, if we do that, the amount of support tickets will drop dramatically, as a lot of the errors are avoidable. So let's help support, let's help the programmers, let's help the guys who are committing so much of their personal time in the background to get this right. Let's help them by sorting it out right in the beginning. Here endeth Tim's lesson. Take a deep breath. I've got my coffee. Have you got your coffee with you? Who's got their coffee? Put in the chat there. I've got my coffee with me. Saturday morning. Okay, I've got Nooksy waving at me. Thank you, Nooksy. Just to remind you, you've got your camera on. I sometimes have to tell people, don't forget, if you've got your camera on, that you've got your camera on. You don't have to, by all means. I know it takes a lot of people's bandwidth. So, biggest challenges. Number one, if you're not in South Africa, I know there are a lot of people who aren't, who are watching this, you'll hear we're talking about something called load shedding. Now, I don't like using that because that's government propaganda words. It's actually called power cuts. The government, due to their corrupt, maybe I mustn't talk like that, due to their inability to maintain a stable electricity grid, I'll be correct on the call, I don't know lots of you, it means that they have to cut our power at different times during the day in different areas throughout the country, which means that at the moment we're on what they call level 6. I think level 7 or stage 7 is where they actually come and remove our candles and our battery operated torches from our homes. I don't know. But level 6 means that the power goes off for up to 4.5 hours, 3 times a day. So you work that out quickly. It was off for so long in my house yesterday where I'm staying, the milk went sour when I had my tea last night. I was not a happy chappy. I need to buy long life milk, which I don't like, but that's the way we live now. So with that, it is affecting the programmers. It's fine if you have Wi-Fi, but the problem is that because the grid is going down for so long, the Wi-Fi network is going down because the batteries that run the towers are not having enough time to recharge. So a lot of the areas where the towers are old and they don't even have batteries, when the power goes off, even if you have your own router and Wi-Fi and you're not on fiber, you still can't operate. So this is exactly one of the big challenges that's been happening, and they have to just work around it. We have to show our patience. Yes, Yaku, I agree with you. It's what we got to deal with. So that's the key thing, is when the internet does go down for 4, 6, 8, 10 hours a day, it gets very, very difficult and challenging to finalize programming and so on. It's one thing to have your own power in your house. That helps. We can't help when the whole Wi-Fi towers, when the cell towers go down. But here's one of my driving factors for building IRP Gifting and to get this up and running is I need additional gifts. I need about 150,000 Rand in order to put solar in my house and go off-grid. So if you hadn't thought of that before, because that's just going to solve your problem, you don't have to worry about our local electricity supplier, Eskom, because you'll just be able to at least operate in your home. If you need a new why or an additional reason to build this and get this going and share this, is because you want 150K, whatever it takes, in order to get off the grid. That's another why for you I'm throwing in there. The next one is people are duplicating accounts. So as soon as you go and register an account, once you've registered one, it automatically puts you in that line in the system. Remember, it's a forced matrix, which means that when you're in, anybody else who registered after you goes underneath. But if you are too quick on the button, or you're too aggressive on registering, or you didn't think it happened, it registered and you didn't check, and you go and register another one, so now you've erroneously, in error, created two, but you actually only want one of them. The system has already given that spot, and now by the time that it's realized, or you realize you've actually got two, there could be 10, 20, 30, 50, who knows how many people underneath, so they can't dump that position, which means somebody who registers underneath is then going to see that they have to gift you, not knowing it was a duplicate account with no details in it, no email, no cell phone, no cryptos, because you don't want it. So please be very, very observant when you are creating an account, that you're only creating one. There was a post put out during the week for eradicating for reallocating some of the duplicate accounts. I know that process has been going on. It hasn't been 100% finalized, giving an opportunity for people joining now to actually get a position higher up, because there's a duplicate account and they can't just take it away because it's going to leave a gap and then the whole thing falls down. That physical position has to be allocated. So right now, because we're in the sort of, call it the pre-launch stage, we're in the launching stage, they are giving the people in the community the opportunity to have another account. So I've taken one. I took one for my son. I'm not going to have multiple accounts. It's ridiculous. But I took one for my son, which I'm going to then hand over to him. So for those who were quick off the draw, well done. You've perhaps got yourself a position higher up. And just bear with support as they tell you who you need to then gift and where your other gifts are coming from. I'm just reading here. If you do want more than one account, which it's only recommended or advised you have a maximum of two, then use another name or a different prefix, use a different email address so it's clearly identifiable by support that it's two different accounts. I think that is a very important one. People are sending more than one email to support. Then it takes support extra time to go through the extra emails. So this is the way that support works on the emails, whether it's the proof of payment or just a support ticket. They deal with the oldest first. So let's say that you think, well, it's been 24 hours. I haven't got a response from support. I'm going to send them another ticket. All that's happening is that second one that you send them is going to the bottom of the pile. It's the most recent. They're dealing with the top of the pile, which is the oldest. So it just makes their workload look double from what it actually is. Can you imagine the person sitting there? They got 20 emails. I don't know how much it is, but let's say it's 20. And they're looking at this and it suddenly looks like it's 40. But in fact, there's only 20 things they need to resolve. Phew, that's just going to be painful. It's going to be difficult. So don't duplicate on it. If you've sent an email, it's in the system. It's in the line. They will get back to you. But guys, they're volunteers. Okay? So send one ticket. Send your proof of payment once. Send your email to support once. And please, only once. There's no point in sending an email later on or the next day or the following day and saying, did you see my email? Because your first email is going to be addressed before the most recent one. So it's pretty pointless, isn't it, when you think? Okay? So I don't know how you attack your emails that you get, but do you look at the oldest first or the newest? We'll start to look at the oldest. They work the same way. So please be very conscious and aware of that. When you send an email through, in the subject line, put your IRP number. I never type it. The number's too long, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to make a mistake. Copy, paste. Put in the subject line your IRP number. This would go for anything. Here's what happens. You send a ticket to support and you say, oops, I created a duplicate account, or I've got this or this issue on my account. But you don't put any details. You just say you've got this. You put your name there perhaps, and they can see your email. They're going to look and go, well, whose account is this? Because they're working on the number. As soon as they got the number, they can put in the system and see exactly what's going on. So support then replies to your email. You then take a few days or a few hours, perhaps a day. You see this, you reply back to them. Now, where in the queue has your email that you've replied back to gone? You're right, it's gone to the bottom, which means there could be 20, 30, 50, I don't know, emails above you. You're then going to have to wait another day. Can you see how it's time consuming? Anytime you send an email, put your IRP number in the subject line and what it is about. Then it can be clearly identified. What I personally do is when I'm sending a proof of payment, a proof of a gift, which I'll come to now, when I send that, I put there from my IRP number to the IRP I'm sending it to in the subject line. As soon as they receive it, I've given them all the information they need. They're going to confirm the receipt of that, check that it is all correct, and then they've got the information to hand. For those people who did request one of the higher up positions, as was advertised during the week on the Telegram group, as soon as you get your email from support to take this position, action it immediately. Do not wait. Populate your information, go on there, change the name, put in your details, put in your email, put in your cryptos, and gift that person immediately. If you don't, you'll block the system, which will slow everything down. Because now imagine you've now been given, just absolutely blessed with having a position higher up than you would have had. You now take this position, don't put your information in. Somebody is waiting to gift you already. You haven't gifted on. You're going to slow down. And that's where the 1 hour, it's not in place yet, but it will be soon. That's where the timelines become critical for gifting. So pay and gift immediately. The proof of payment. When you send cryptocurrencies, you'll get the first transaction, the proof of the transaction with all those codes and those long letters and numbers in it. And that'll come up on your screen. You'll see there that it'll be in line. It's not completed. It hasn't been complete. You need to send through. So you're going to need to wait for the whole transaction to go through the blockchain, which can take anywhere from a few seconds to a couple of minutes, depending on which cryptocurrency you're using. Only once you see on the wallet or the exchange you sent it from successful, that's when you click on it. That's the screenshot that you said to support. That's the screenshot that you add into the proof of payments on your actual platform, because you don't forget you need to do both. You're sending the proof of payment to support so they can verify it and activate the gift immediately on the person you're sending it to. And you're going to put the information correctly online, as Karen has shown us. Then the person receiving the gift can see that they've received what they're receiving and who it's coming from. But you're only going to put in once it is successful. You can't send a transaction, say, I've done it, when it doesn't say successful. So that is a very, very critical one. And that goes through to proof of payments at irpco.biz. Proof of payments at irpco.biz. We should all know that email address off heart by now. And he ends up on a positive note I'm reading my last bits here. People who are waiting on gifts are now receiving gifts through the higher positions being taken. Fantastic. So if you did join, and I've had this question as well, if you did join, but for whatever reason, you're not actually busy receiving gifts, it could be because there was a block a little bit higher up because of these duplicate accounts. But as they're all allocated and people are taking them over and gifting, it's beginning to move. There's a transition and a flow. So that is already taking great. That's already progressing great. Okay, so that is the messages that we have received. Just going through to make sure there's nothing else there. And Dr. Francois is still on the call in his recording, which is great. His power's actually gone down already, so he wasn't too sure if he could stay on with us, but we've talked enough about the lack of electricity in South Africa. And let's see. So I've finished the main messages I wanted to talk about. I've shared the really, really critical message about what each person on this call's role and responsibility is. And I would encourage you to take it on. Even if you're only introducing one person, that's fine. That's fine, because that person introduces one, it's a start. But those who want to take this seriously will help multiple people join and get involved. And I'm enjoying this tremendously, because there's so many people I know who would love and need and desperate need for additional income, but are not networkers. Don't want to follow a structure of introduce 2 or introduce 4 and then go wide and then go deep and all these types of things. They just say, I'll join and I'll get my son, daughter, best friend, whoever to join. Perfect. That's where the power of what we've got is so great. We can help all these people who aren't in a position or don't enjoy sharing with multiple other people in order to gain. Just one and one and one is perfect, but start somewhere. And when you see the true power, you're not going to keep your mouth shut. And then we're going to see explosion taking off. Let's go through some of the things you're in the chat box. I'm not opening up the call. I think if somebody put their hand up, please just type the question quickly. And if it's something which we can answer simply, I've spoken about. I can't log in to change my password. Tumediso, there is training on that. Very easy to do. When you go to your profile, it says change password, and you put in your details there. If you have any issues, then put all the information over to support. I have 2 accounts now. Was not meant to have, but decided to keep both. No problem. Should I change an email now for the other one? If yes, should I send an email to support about it? No. You don't need to send an email to support. You can actually go and change the email address directly there. And then populate all the information. Change the details. Change your name. Change your details. Your email address. Put in all the cryptos. Gift the person. Then it's not going to get flagged as a duplicate account because it's going to have different information and you've populated. Remember, when support is looking for duplicated accounts, they're looking for ones where there's multiple ones with the same name, same email, which has not been populated. In other words, nobody's taking ownership on it. There's still a mess with the wrong gifting information in the back office, which support is hopefully leaving to. If you sent your email, they will get through to it. They're dealing on a priority basis. Yaku says there's a forgotten option password at the bottom of the login screen. If you can't remember your password, guys, that is one of the fundamental, most basic things that you do not want to clog support up with. I forgot my password. How many of us have got an online profile somewhere in something? Make note of your password. Just seeing. There are people that was listed by support not. All right, so Trini, where you need to gift somebody, it's not a payment, it's a gift. We're actually gifting somebody an unconditional gift of $8 or $16, whichever it is. When you can see if you still need to gift them, you can see now their cell phone number. So send them a WhatsApp and chat to them directly. That's exactly what I've gone and done with somebody I needed to gift. The gifter can contact you. Very informative. Thank you very much, Pascal. Okay, I think I'm done with my message. I wanted to keep this to being about 30 minutes. It is a Saturday morning. The recording is here. Stay connected, guys. We are 54 odd people on this call. And on our Telegram group, I'm just going to have a look right now. On our Telegram group, how many people are we? 707. I've spoken about this before. If to get the message out clearly and sustainably, a third of the people who are on the messaging group, on the Telegram group, need to be receiving the information. A third. So what's a third of 707? What's that? 250 plus minus. Okay, quick bit of maths in my head. That means that 250 people should be on a combination of this call or listen to the recordings. Then we know the message is going out very clearly. Just like your responsibility to introduce new people, your responsibility as well to share the message with people that you have introduced who are not on this call and check with them. So on Monday, did you listen to Karin's calls? No, go watch it. Did you listen to Tim on Saturday? No. If you want to know what's going on, to make money out of this, to benefit yourself and those around you in this community, go watch the recordings. What I love about recordings on YouTube, which I'm a huge fan for, I'll go and put 1.5 speed. So in half an hour, you can watch it in 20 odd minutes, right? We've got this available to us. So Dr. Francois, thank you very much for the opportunity to share from my mind, share with some thoughts about what's happening. I'm excited, I'm motivated, and I'll do whatever possible in the background to help everybody be in a position to be receiving gifts on at least level 2, hopefully level 3 before Christmas. And that's right around the corner, guys. And then we are on a great head start for 2023. Thank you all very much for sharing. I don't know, Dr. Francois Engelbrecht, if you have anything else to say, or should we just close off?
Thank you, Tim. We do appreciate it. It was wonderful. I'm excited after listening to you. We just want to tell the people that tomorrow is Sunday. We've given support one day off in the week. So every
Brilliant.
Sunday, you won't get them anywhere. They are resting. They need it. Christmas, you won't get them. But all the other days, they will be there working without compensation to make your life wonderful. So let's give them off tomorrow, but keep telling the people, and let's bring in another 1,000 of people to the call on Monday evening at 6 o'clock. And you will be amazed if we can do that. If each and every one of us can bring 1 or 10 people to the call on Monday, your Christmas will be a wonderful one. Have an awesome Saturday.
Thank you very much. Ciao, everybody.